People always ask me, "Duggie, why don't you talk about the old house?" And I tell them, because the house doesn't like to be talked about. It has very sensitive ears and a very long memory. Heh, 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 Logan wanted to film there. He had his little cameras and his big ideas. He thought a few puppets could handle the, quote, atmosphere. He told the sponsors it would be a Halloween special. A fun, spooky investigation. He brought 3 cases of equipment, a ring light, and 4 felt puppets from the children's show. He didn't realize that in that house. The puppets aren't the ones on strings. We spent 3 nights there before the accident. First night was just quiet, too quiet. You know, the kind of silence that presses against your eardrums until they start to ring. That was night 1. The cameras kept losing battery. Brand new lithium batteries. Drained to 0 in 7 minutes flat. Logan thought it was a bad batch. He just laughed. He pointed his microphone down the long hallway and joked about ghosts wanting a union wage. But the microphones didn't pick up ghosts. They picked up breathing, not human breathing. It sounded like an old fireplace bellows, drawing in air deep, wet, rhythmic. My night 2. Things changed. Logan says it was a technical failure, I say. It was the basement, you see. The basement wasn't part of the floor plan. Checked the blueprints from the town archive. The house was built on solid concrete slabs. No cellar. No crawl space. Nothing. But it appeared on Tuesday, right at the end of the kitchen hallway. A dark wooden door that smelled like river mud and copper. Logan was thrilled. He set up his tripod. He shoved the camera right up to the keyhole. He wanted to catch a draft. He wanted a jump scare for the algorithm by Wednesday. It was hungry. Most people think horror is about ghosts. It's not. It's about the small things, the wrong things. It's about the smell of burnt hair in a room with no power. It's about realizing your reflection just winked at you when you weren't looking on that 3rd night. The house stopped pretending to be an empty building. We were sitting in the living room, trying to review the daylight footage. The monitor screen started to warp. The colors bled out until everything was a bruised, oily purple. And then the puppets started moving inside their storage trunks. We could hear them scratching. Soft, felt fingers scraping against the plastic bins. Scritch, scritch. Scritch. Logan thought it was rats. He went to open the lid. I told him to leave it. I told him the air felt thick, like walking through wet cement, but he didn't listen. He opened the bin. The puppets weren't tangled. They were standing up, all 4 of them, packed tightly together, staring straight up at the lid. Their plastic eyes didn't look like cheap buttons anymore. They looked wet, like they were sweating. And then Logan got scared. He got scared because he saw a shadow move across the far wall. A tall, jagged shape that didn't match any furniture in the room, but I didn't care about the shadow. I got scared because the shadow apologized to me. It had a very polite voice. It whispered from the corner of the ceiling. It sounded like my mother if my mother had been a swarm of hornets. It said, "I am so sorry for the mess, Duggie. We are still setting the stage." That is when Logan dropped his camera. The lens shattered on the floorboards. We didn't stop filming because it was too dark. We stopped because the house started writing the scripts, literally, the teleprompter tablet we brought. The one that wasn't even connected to the Wi-Fi started scrolling. Blue text on a black screen. But it wasn't Logan's script. It was a list of actions It read, Logan walks to the basement door. Logan opens the door. Logan steps onto the first stair. Air breaks. Logan falls. We watched the screen scroll in real time. It kept typing, lines and lines of dialogue. Things Logan hadn't said yet. Things Logan would say if he went down there, and let me tell you, the ending it had written for him, even I thought that was a bit much for a family-friendly channel. Logan panicked. He ran for the front door. He didn't even grab his car keys. He just sprinted into the woods. I stayed behind for 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds. Because I wanted to see if the teleprompter would finish the page. It did. The last line on the screen was just my name, repeated 80 times. Over and over, Duggie, 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 and underneath the screen, from inside the walls, I could hear the wood groaning. It sounded like a giant ribcage expanding. The house was taking a deep breath. We left the puppets behind. We left the cameras. We left everything. Logan doesn't do video production anymore. He works in an office now. Somewhere bright. Somewhere with fluorescent lights that never go out. He doesn't look at shadows. He doesn't like the color green, because it reminds him of the felt on those puppet hands. If you ever find that house, down that unmarked dirt road, past the rusted iron gates, do not go inside, and if you do, and you see a green felt hand reaching out from the floorboards, do not shake it. It's not looking for a friend, it's looking for a replacement. The house is still there, waiting for season 2. Stay strange, but for heaven's sake, stay quiet.